welcome to Nerd Society. Today we're going to be covering a big subject that we'll find out at the weekend when it comes upon us: Batman v Superman, and more in particularly one subject that has piqued my interest. Will Superman die in Batman v Superman? There has been small amounts of speculation over whether this is something that is actually going to happen. If you've seen our previous video, which is Netflix Marvel's Daredevil Season 2 spoiler review, which is the previous video, so if you go back a little bit, you'll see that on there. Give it a watch. Spoilers though, so if you haven't seen it, give it a miss for now. So yeah, Batman v Superman. Will the Man of Tomorrow, will the Man of Steel die? My personal opinion on it is he won't, but on the flip side, Nathan believes that Superman may just die from what he's heard. Now, if we look at the comics, Superman Doomsday, Doomsday did kill Superman, and it was pretty huge when it actually happened in the comic. I mean, it was actually making real world news when Superman was going to be killed off. He's seen as a god, an entity that is almost impossible to kill, and I think that's why sometimes I think maybe DC have struggled a lot with Superman, because he's so golden age and so powerful that how do you write a story for someone that can barely be beaten, and you have to really sort of create villains that are going to be able to stand up against Superman, who effectively, how do you beat him? He is such a hard character to write for because of how big and essentially generic Superman has come over the years. Everyone knows who Superman is. Everyone recognises this symbol. So to kill him off, in my opinion, could work. If they kept that quiet, I'm just hats off to everyone that's managed to do that. Now, how is Superman going to potentially die? In the Superman Doomsday comic, Doomsday does kill Superman. He dies. He does come back, because no one ever stays dead in comics. Looking at you, Marvel. So he does come back, but how is it going to happen? And how does this all fit into Batman v Superman? Well, theory goes that there's a big standoff, obviously, with Doomsday at the end. Superman and Wonder Woman taking on Doomsday, trying to minimalise collateral damage, which you can already see in the trailers. It looks like it's probably going to be more damage than what happened in Man of Steel. So if you had a problem with the damage in Man of Steel, you're probably going to have a problem with this one too. But just remember, go and watch Superman Doomsday, the animated film, or most DC films, and when it involves Superman, people are being thrown through buildings, and read the graphic novels, look at the comics. That's how things go down in Metropolis. Metropolis's insurance for anyone in that city must be through the roof. How does it happen? So allegedly Wonder Woman, Superman are taking on Doomsday. Batman is going to be off somewhere else, potentially taking, whether it's going to be something to do with Lex Luthor, or dismantling something that Lex Luthor's working on, or basically something where Batman's still going to be made useful, because he might be taking on the Man of Steel, but someone like Doomsday, who isn't going to give a shit about whether he's breaking a couple of ribs or not, or if he wants him dead or not, Doomsday will just rip him apart. So Batman has got to be still made useful. So I think he's going to be off somewhere doing something else, and I think what the theory goes is that Superman's going to fly Doomsday up into out of orbit and into the sun. Now, I know what everyone's thinking, well, the other sun powers Clark's powers. That's where he gets his powers from. It is, but if he takes that much of a beating, to the point, Superman can be beaten to death. He can have his neck snapped. We've seen it happen with Zod. People can die. So whether he does or whether he doesn't, how it's going to happen, it's all speculation. I'm not too sure if it's to do with him, Superman throwing Doomsday into the sun and it going from there. Who knows? But what we do know is that we have a two-part to the Justice League coming up now. Who's to say that maybe at the end of Justice League Part 1, that's when Superman is going to come back to life? The Justice League will fully unite at the end of Justice League number 1. But anyway, this is all down to speculation, as I've said before. No one really knows what's going to be happening. What do you think? Is Superman going to die in Batman v Superman? Is he going to come back at the end of Justice League Part 1? Is Doomsday going to be the one to kill him? guess we'll find out at the weekend. We will have a review up immediately on Sunday afternoon time, around about then, because we're all going to go and see it on Saturday night. Would love to go and see it on Friday, but we're all still working. We've got other jobs that we need to tend to. I've got a little kid, so it makes times a little bit difficult for us to get bang on at the same time, but we will be within the acceptable time to get a spoiler review up and a non-spoiler review up for anyone who's on and on about whether they need to spend the money on going to see Batman v Superman. If you are on about it, what the fuck? Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and also just let us know what you think about Batman v Superman in the comment section. Is he going to die? Will Superman die? And will he come back in Justice League? Let us know what you think.